eco-friendly conversations and frameworks for our environment and for our world so that we have the more sustainable world, then please be passionate enough to be patient with yourself in the personal branding building process because it takes time. Now, thanks to technologies, you are able to do it in record time. I have worked with clients and built successful brands for them that had recognition across their target markets in a space of 90 days. That's the shortest period of time I've been able to pull it off as a professional. Maybe some other people are able to do it, but I realize that if you do not take time in building it and you do not take time in earning trust in the market organically, the same speed with which you pop up and you become a sensation or you become viral is the same speed with which you disappear. And I'm sure in each of your various markets, wherever it is you're joining us from, in whichever part of the world, you can tell of an internet sensation, a digital viral sensation that went poof, and everybody was like, oh my God. And then 3 days later, they disappeared. And as I'm speaking to you now, you don't even know where they are. Their videos don't matter to you. Nobody remembers who they were. They trended for as short as it could be because they didn't take time to build through the process of earning trust. The entirety of the purpose of personal branding is being able to earn trust in the marketplace in the most organic way possible. So be patient with yourself. A lot of people start the journey, they post, they get a couple, 10 likes, 20 likes, and their heart is broken. And they're looking at all of these vain metrics that does not really add up to detailed value propositions in any way, and they give up before they are able to go anywhere. So please understand that. Now, if you're looking to build a personal brand, where do you start from and how do you get it happening? Then we can go to the online stuff and I can walk you through some of the major tools and all of the things that you need in order for you to build a brand that then extrapolates some level of value and brings it to your business and you're able to truly position yourself. Now, I want to build a personal brand. What are the steps, Kwame? Practically, if I leave this section right now, what do I do? Well, number one, for personal brand building, the first thing I want you to define for yourself is what are your experiences, number one. Number two, what are your skill sets? And number three, what is your knowledge base? These are the three components that you need to build a personal brand. Your experiences. Okay, I come from a rich home. I lived all my life in a very comfortable space. I've always grown around luxury. That is your experience. Own it. There's nothing wrong with it. It will make your personal branding proposition so strong, depending on the kind of target audience you have. Oh, I came from a very poor background. Everything was difficult. It was very hard for me to come up. That is my experience. Own it as well. So whatever your experiences are in relation to the brand or the story you want to tell, please define that. These are my experiences. Number two, what are your skill sets? I am a great communicator personally. I'm an awesome writer. In the space of like the last 10 years, I've written maybe 3,000, 4,000 pieces of different types of writing, from articles to press releases to books to research publications and all of that. So in my skill set, I know that the ability to clearly communicate is one, the ability to write is another, the ability to create projects and bring them to life is a third one. So what are your skills? Are you able to cook? Are you able to entertain people? Do you know how to harness relationships? Some of you are great nurturers. Are you a coach? Are you able to help people change their minds? Are you able to grow businesses? Are you able to change the environment? What are your skill sets? Number three, what is your knowledge base? What are those things that if we wake you up in the middle of the night at 2 a.m., at 3 a.m., and we snap you out of sleep and we put a microphone in front of you and we ask you a question about that thing, you can give us 100 hours of speech without getting tired, without losing enthusiasm. That is the one thing that you have knowledge about. Some of us have it in multiplicity of ways. I, for instance, have a ton of knowledge when it comes to digital tools, technology, future technologies or emerging technologies. Those are things I know. I'm also very, very well grounded in the knowledge of the SDGs and its, application and all of that. So you want to clearly be able to define your experiences, your skill sets, and then finally your knowledge base. Once that is done, the next thing you need to do is to connect all these three things that I have mentioned. So, Kwame, here are my experiences. This is my skill set. This is my knowledge base. You need to be able to put these three things together and ask yourself, what does the total of these three things I have, what problem can it solve for my ideal target audience? Remember, we have already defined our ideal target audience. We've now gotten to the place where we're about to take our value proposition, our message, and our story online in order to build a tribe. Now, somebody had asked already, what is a tribe? Now, a tribe is a group of loyal followers who you have earned their trust, who believe in what it is you're speaking about, and who would not mind doing anything you say. So a tribe is a group of people whose trust you have earned and who you can influence, if you want to write it down. That is a tribe. A tribe is a group of people whose trust you have earned and who you can influence. And the entire, so more like loyal followers, exactly. Loyal followers, people who trust in what it is that you are presenting. That is your tribe. You say A, they jump. You say B, they sleep. You've earned their trust. And whenever you speak, you have influence. Whenever you suggest, they will jump on it. Whenever you recommend, they will make a move. Whenever you cancel, they never go there. The entire idea of personal branding is to be able to achieve a critical mass of tribe around whatever it is you're building. And the way you do that is to be able to establish value to your people. So the three things that I have, Kwame. Oh, the zombies. The zombies would always be there. So somebody's asking, what about the zombies? The zombies are always going to be the cheerleaders behind the fence. And oftentimes, you start building your following with a cluster of zombies. And then over time, you start crossing them over the fence into your loyal followership. Because in the beginning, nobody trusts you. Immediately, you start speaking. Immediately, you say you have something to offer. Already our brain, there's something at the back of our brain called amygdala. Now, this is science, a little bit of science divergence. There's something in the brain called amygdala that is always looking out for things to be scared of. So we hear about something, oh, it's a scam. This person says, I can offer you this. Oh my God, what is in it for him? Is he trying? So the zombies will always be a part of the process. But what you need to understand is that that's why I'm telling you that the personal branding process takes time, and you need to give yourself the patience to win the zombies over the fence bit by bit into your tribe. And oftentimes the most reluctant zombies, when you finally convert them, become your most loyal followers. They will champion, they will shout, they will loud your name everywhere. So you just need to give your time to convert the zombies. Now, let's proceed one step further. Like I said, I want this to be practical. Please let me know in the comments if where we've gotten to makes sense and you're gaining some value from what we're doing. I want to know that it's self-explanatory and it's things that you can immediately start applying. So you do realize with the process I'm working you through that you don't just get up and jump online. There's a lot of work that you need to do internally before you jump online. And this is the mistake that a lot of people are making. Thank you, Pascal. Pascal says, great speech, sir. I just want to make sure you're gaining value from it. So now you've been able to clearly define what the value proposition is for your personal brand based off of your experience, your skill set, and your knowledge base. Now, Kwame, now that I've defined all these things, what do I do? Please write it down and never forget this. The currency, the social equity that you need to be able to build trust and build a very strong, formidable online presence is value. Let me say it again. The currency and the social equity that is necessary for your success online is called value. Now, this is what I mean. Before you ever come online and come and look for the likes, the comments, the followers on any of the platforms, you need to come with something called value. And the value that you are offering should be value that you offer firsthand to your target audience before they ever pay any attention to you. So when I said earlier, for instance, that the shortest time that I have built a successful brand for any of my clients was 90 days, it was that in the 90 days, we focus continually on delivering value from the client to its or his or her ideal audience over and over and over again, at which point in the 3 month period, they realize, oh my God, this is fantastic. And this person is somebody we can trust, we can buy from, we can utilize their expertise, and these people have earned our trust. So the first set of 3 months or 6 months that you're truly going to embark on your personal branding journey, kindly understand that you're going to be throwing in a lot of value upfront. Now, how do we offer value? We offer value by providing services, knowledge, or products that solve problems for our clients upfront. Again, I am a public speaker, I am a coach, I am an innovation consultant. At the three things that I have mentioned, over the last 10 years that I have been building my brand, anybody who knows me from before now will tell you, I have brought enormous value to my community, for which reason I have been able to earn trust. And there's no point of my personal branding journey where I stop offering value to my audience, because immediately you stop offering value, you do not matter to the marketplace. So let's now go into the practicals, the tools that you need. Now, the first question I want to answer for every single one of you is, no, before I even go there, let me start from here. If you're looking at building an online presence for yourself and for your business, please, it's 2021. We are in, we can't even say a post-COVID era, but we are in the middle of nowhere era where we do not know exactly what our tomorrow looks like. But we're living in 2021. Virtual marriages to virtual funerals to virtual summits are the order of the day. Please do yourself a great service and own your own website. Number one, there is no online presence without your own website. This is the new office of the new normal we live in. And businesses do not like doing business and with people who do not have an online office. So regardless and irrespective of what you take from this section, get out of this section immediately we're done and use all of the different tools I'm about to provide to you, and make sure you have both a company website and a personal website done and ready by the end of next week if you truly mean business. If you already have the business
please
website,
repeat that portion again for me, please.
Come again?
Please repeat that portion again for me, the website.
Okay, so regardless and irrespective of what it is that you do, make sure that with the practical tools I am about to share with you right now, you go out there and get a business website and a personal website for yourself as well. Now, there are a lot of you, let me address this real quickly. There are a lot of you who are suffering from what is termed as the imposter syndrome. The imposter syndrome is when somebody believes that they are not as good as they think they are, or they are not as good as people have to perceive them to be. So a lot of us say, oh, we are camera shy, or, I just want to be the person who's hiding behind the business and nobody knows me. Well, in a few years back, that would have been great. People dealt with logos. We drank Coca-Cola. We used Apple, and we didn't care who the CEO was or who the leaders were. But I'm telling you guys, in the new normal that we have, putting a face to a business has become almost a quintessential requirement for success. And if you're not considering it, maybe you're not very passionate about your business. Plus, who does the modesty and the hiding help? I don't think it helps anybody. Step up. You're building something of value to the world. I am encouraging you to step up, step in front of the camera, step in front of the brand, step in front of your audience. Give them that confidence that I am the person building this solution and value for you. And I'm here to show my face because I truly believe in what I'm doing and I want to build and establish a relationship with you. So get a business website and a personal website. Kwame, how do I get this? If you have the money, pay a website designer. I know there are website designers who charge anything from $300 up to $10,000 depending on the kind of website you're looking to build. But if you do not have that money and you say, Kwame, how do I go about it the other way? Well, you have three options. Option one is learn how to build a website in less than a week and do it yourself by a step-by-step guide, drag and place. What do I mean? Go to YouTube. I hope you're writing this down. Go to YouTube and look for the channel Website Learners. Website Learners is a channel run by 4 Indian brothers. During the COVID lockdown last year, I used 4 days to learn how to design websites with WordPress using an interface called Elementor. And it took me following step-by-step guide. Click here, do this, put in this information, click here, drag this, and in literally 2 to 3 days, I had built my first website. As I sit here, I can confidently and comfortably build a website for any of my businesses, any of my initiatives that I will ever bring forth, because I now have the skill. So again, YouTube, Website Learners. You will get a ton of video on how to build a website using WordPress. They also teach how you can do it using Squarespace, and they also teach how you can do it using Wiz. And I like this particular channel because it's very, very practical, it's simple, and it's easy to use for everybody. Just have about $50 to $100 that you will use to buy your domain and your hosting through GoDaddy, and then be able to have the website running. Option one, you have the money, pay a website guy to do it for you. Option two, go learn how to do it yourself. In fact, the third option is Google has also brought a very simple way that you can build websites with the Google site builder. So you can also go on Google and search the Google website builder and go and follow YouTube videos on their own channel and use it to design a state-of-the-art and an amazing website for both your business and your personal brand. What are the key things that needs to be on a website for it to be essentially bring value to your audience? Number one, make it mobilely responsive. Make it fully mobile responsive. Why? Because over 90% of the people who are going to interact with your website are going to do so via their mobile phones. It takes a lot of energy now for people to actually sit behind their laptops. It needs to require a certain special event for people to sit behind their laptops. We are all on the go. We are all always on the move. And so we're checking a lot of the things on our mobile. So number one, make sure it's mobile responsive. Number two, make sure it's search engine optimized, SEO. There are SEO specialists who you can contact through services like Fiverr, who will be able to help you. Or again, through Website Learners, they have an SEO, simple SEO process that you can do for yourself by using the Yoast SEO plugin that they will teach you in less than 15 minutes to be able to set it up. So that's the second thing I would recommend for you, for your website to be at par. If you already have these things, congratulations, you've already started the work of building a strong online presence. Now, SEO is so important because now, if we had the time, hold on, I can see that I think there are questions in here. We're live on YouTube. Okay, great. Now, please repeat the last thing. Okay, search engine optimization. That's what I said. Yes, search engine optimization. Now, SEO is so important because it clearly allows you to be able to determine what people see when they Google you. Because guys, in today's world, immediately you present yourself in front of people and you say that I am this person and I do this and I do that. What they do is they don't take your word for it. They go for Google to confirm it. So you want to make sure you have a covenant with Google. So that's what I see search engine optimization as. So when you go tell everybody that that crazy guy who came to speak said search engine optimization is a covenant with Google to make sure they always convince the people who come looking for information for me. If you go Googling my name right now, I have a covenant with Google where they will show you things that will impress you for you to come and do business with me. So think about SEO as your covenant with Google so that anybody who is asking questions about you without your knowing will be able to get the answers that you want them to get, not the answers that have been predetermined by some algorithm. So algorithm hack for being seen the way you want to be seen on Google is search engine optimization. Like I said, there are experts who can do it. I'm sure that even at Secular Place, Desmond was here earlier. I'm sure that's a service he offers. That's a service that my company offers as well. So you can reach out. Or guys, in this season of DIY, where you can do everything yourself, because what I want us to become is to become capable entrepreneurs who are able to set the basic framework of things for ourselves, so that we don't need to rely heavily on anybody, and we can also keep the money rotating. It just will mean that it will take a lot more of your time if you're sitting down yourself as the leader of the business, building the websites and doing the SEO. But if resources demand it so, then do yourself the service of taking some of these tasks on yourself and setting it up. As your business grows and you become more resource efficient, you'll be able to outsource some of these things. So I hope that that is also well established. I have my website running. It's mobile responsive. It clearly outlines what I'm about, the company profile, the services, my personal brand, the skills I have, the services I'm offering, the knowledge that I share. Make sure all of that is clearly done. Then you take the next step. I'll be wrapping up in about, give and take, about 30 minutes or 40 minutes. Because I don't want to bore you guys with too much information. That's one of the things I'm truly concerned about in our generation. There's so much information around that sometimes we get drowned in the middle of the data and we are not able to do anything with it. So that's why I came practical. That's why I want you to do things that immediately you're done from here, you can go and action them. Now, the first step in any personal branding is what we call imagery. Now, Cage is here. My brother Cage was one of the hosts for the last physical summit that I did. If you look at Cage's Zoom, you can see a certain picture sitting on there. For those of you, I'm sure that everybody can see. Now, you can see the man wearing an ash suit. I think it's a three-piece suit. He has his tie and he has a very nice smile on. Come to the chat section and tell me what comes to your mind immediately you see that picture. I want you to start typing it in the chat now, or unmute your mic and tell me. Cage is here. So I hope everybody can see him. He's wearing an ash suit. What comes to your mind when you see that picture? What comes to mind? Kate, can you say something so that your picture pops up on the screen and they can see you? I want to hear something from everybody.
Certainly. I'm also quite interested in hearing what my picture translates.
Okay, so Cage is talking now, so I'm sure all of you have seen it. What comes to mind when you see Cage's image?
I see a successful consultant.
Fantastic. Madia said business-minded person. AC says very sharp businessman. Who else? Corporate guy. Thank you. So, Cage, you could be doing drug business, but because of the right imagery, everybody thinks that you are a successful businessman. So my point is fully made. I don't even need to explain the essence of imagery when it comes to personal branding. So somebody says an outgoing corporate person, that's from Comfort. So the first building block of your personal brand is your imagery. You need to go and sit down with a professional photographer and take pictures concepted around whatever the value is that you're trying to offer. Otherwise, you'll be one of the most loaded people with solutions, but nobody will deal with you because of the wrong imagery. Have you ever heard the statement, look the part? When we say look the part, it presupposes that for every part you want to play in the market, there's a certain look that corresponds to it. At a certain level of personal brand achievement, the people like Oprah, people like Trevor Noah in the entire COVID season had bushy hair and nobody had any problem with it because he has already achieved a certain level of success with his personal brand, established his value with his people, and he didn't also bring in an imagery that was totally different from what he had started offering. Imagine if we started seeing Michelle Obama with tattoos all over his arm, some short skirts, show your tummy, everybody will feel like he's either mental or there's something wrong. So, first building block, go take images that look the part. That's number one. Number two, audio visual is the surest way to build trust on the online framework or landscape. So, immediately you're done with imaging, the next thing you want to think about is video, which combines audio and visual. Two extremely potent tools that you're going to use for your personal branding. So the reason why audiovisual is so strong in brand building and online brand positioning is because of the influx of smart scammers who have come into our online space. People who can have all the right image, put it on their social media. They look like they're a smart business person, smart corporate guy. And by the time you send your money to them for some consultation, you realize that you have sent it to Atayana in Cameroon. So because of that, a lot more people are comfortable when they can see your face, when they can put a face to the person, when they can now see you live in action. This is the reason why one of the strongest recommendations for anybody looking to build a strong online presence is live videos, because it then cancels out all forms of doubt as to your authenticity as the person you claim you are or you claim to be. So the second thing is audiovisual. If you're shy of the camera, come for some prayers, come for some training. I have a public speaking course I've launched. Come and buy it. Take all the exercises, become more confident, and step in front of the camera and start delivering value through audio visual. Now that that is done, Kwame, thank you for everything you brought us through. This online thing, this thing that I've been getting 2 likes and 4 comments, and it's like my house witches are sitting on my clouds and they don't want me to blow. How do I go about it? Number one, again, practical. The social media platforms you choose should not be determined by your emotions or your feelings or trends. It should be determined by your audience, your target audience. It's so sad for me to see people who have a business or who have, a lot of you eco-friendly businesses are actually B2B businesses. A lot of you are actually working in the space where you need a lot of partnerships and collaborations with other businesses. And you are busy killing yourself on Instagram when your LinkedIn, where the real B2B conversations are happening, is 0 to none. So you've taken a great product, but you are marketing it to the wrong people who could care less about it. Now, does that mean you shouldn't touch Instagram? No. Instagram can augment all of your efforts. But if you are in a typical B2B framework, you should be focusing more of your efforts on LinkedIn, determined by your target audience and not on Instagram. So first of all, choose the social platforms you go on based off of your target audience. Where are they hanging out? That's where you go and market. It would make no sense to market in the place where your people are not listening or your people are not paying attention. So let your target audience and the data around them determine which platform you go on. That's number one. So is Instagram for everybody? No. Is Facebook for everybody? No. Is LinkedIn for everybody? No. When you are able to clearly define what your target audience is, your value proposition, your product and your service, you should be able to know the top 3 social media platforms that are going to have the most of your attention. The rest of them can be backups or just complements of the work you're doing. But when you wake up and you sit with your digital team or your social media marketer, your conversations are focused on the places where your target audience exists and are paying attention all the time. That should be your focus. Let's take it a step further. Immediately you arrive on any social media platform, please understand that social media platforms are not ready marketplaces. There's a clear difference between Amazon and Facebook. There's a clear difference between Alibaba and Instagram. There's a clear difference between Tonaton in Ghana and TikTok. Social media places are places where communities converge to have conversations. Nobody wakes up in them. How many of you woke up this morning and picked up your phone and say, oh my God, I'm going to Instagram. And then you pick up your credit card and say, hi, I'm going to shop. No. You went on Instagram to check the latest trend, look at the new hair that your friend is wearing. How was the wedding over the weekend? That new dress that your celebrity influencer is wearing that you want your seamstress to sew for you. Those are the reasons why we go online. Always think about that as a business, or as a personal brand. How do I go online and join conversations and offer value through those conversations so that my ideal target audience can start recognizing me as a point of value and start following me and paying attention to me? That's what you should think about. Number two, please understand that for any established social media platform, and at this point, that will be your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. The only two new ones that are not at this position is TikTok and YouTube Shorts. TikTok used to be Musically. It was rebranded and bought up, and it's now TikTok. And YouTube Shorts is one that they are just launching to compete with TikTok. Apart from these two, all the other ones I mentioned, which is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, all of these ones have already achieved critical mass. And so understand, please, that organic growth is dead on these platforms. What I mean is that all of these businesses and platforms have gotten to the point where they themselves limit your ability to grow organically because they need you to tap into their paid advertisement systems, because that is what provides their business with money for growth. So understand that as you're trying to position yourself online and have a truly great online presence, there's a certain level of investment that will come with it. And the question is, do you believe in yourself and in your product and in your service enough to make those investments to reach the eyeballs that you're looking for? So there's always a certain level of financial investment that comes with personal branding. Don't let anybody lie to you. There is time and resources, the resource of time that you need to invest, and there's the resource of learning that you need to invest, and there's the resource of money that you need to invest. And if the person who is telling you about building an online presence is not telling you these facts, they are lying to you. Let's take it another step further. Now that I understand this, I also should know that based on my target audience, when platforms are new, like TikTok, like YouTube Shorts, it's far more easier to grow and achieve critical mass because at that point, organic reach is fully enabled. Everybody in there has the chance to blow up. And as we can see on TikTok, people have had their videos catch 10 million views and grow 100,000 followers in 24 hours because the system is still open for organic reach. And once you put out content, video, images, text that people relate with, it would go out there and people would jump. But all of us who are on Instagram know today that even when you have 10,000 followers and you post, Instagram will show you to just 10% of your followers. So understand those dynamics. Now let's take it another step further as I'm trying to bring this all to a close. Now, in order for you to successfully build an online presence, it is going to have to be a culmination of all your efforts through the work you're doing on your website, your search engine optimization, and the daily content that you are delivering, which gives value to your audience on social. So your search and web-based work will have to meet your social work in order to give you the kind of online presence you're looking for. I'm going to be offering in the next few minutes some of the tools that every single one of you should have in order for you to be able to grow this online presence. Now, understand that building a brand and establishing an online presence is a continuous work. So you're not going to build your brand successfully in 2 years and stop doing everything you're doing and still remain relevant. Immediately you stop bringing out content that has value, responding to your audiences, answering their questions, coming to them in the time of distress, letting them know that you care about their well-being more than just the product you're selling. Immediately you stop these things, somebody else will overtake you as the person that the market goes to, because earning trust needs to be sustained for the trust to be maintained. Once you earn my trust, you need to keep doing things that makes me confident in the trust that I am giving you for me to continually keep delivering it to you. So always understand that it's going to be a continuous process. Now, what are some of the tools that you can use in being able to build a strong online presence? Let's start with search engine optimization and website building. I've already given you some practicals there. The website learners channel on YouTube is one that you can start with. If you're looking at SEO, Yoast is one of the easiest ones to be able to use by anybody. You don't need to be a techie. You don't need to be somebody who codes or understands any of the programming languages. You can use Yoast SEO, YOAST, Yoast SEO. Now, in terms of design, which is one of the main things when you are building a brand, because you need to also be able to combine images with text to be able to convey some of your messages. It's not all the time that you use video, and it's not all the time that you use only images. Sometimes you need to add text. So in terms of design, you can use two free software, easy to use by anybody, templates pre-existing. You just edit them and put your stuff in there. I'm sure everybody knows about Canva. The second one that you can also use is Over, Over. And I love Over because they have very, very clean and super neat design templates that you can use, but their paid version is a little bit more expensive than Canva. So you need to have Canva and Over on your phone if you're truly serious about building an online presence. The next thing is you need to utilize all of the analytics within all of the various social platforms or digital platforms. So you need to be able to use Google Analytics to see the kind of hits, the kind of traffic that you're getting on your website, the kind of hits that you're getting through the SEO works that you're doing. You need to be able to use your Instagram insights to be able to see the audience you are building. Do they tally with the clearly defined audience group that you defined in the beginning of your process? You should be able to use Facebook insights as well for the same thing. YouTube Studio will give you all the insights about your channel, so you see that the work you're doing is also working. Take these tools so that all the decisions you are making about your online presence is data-driven and not driven by sensationalism or emotion, okay? The next thing that you want to do, for those of us who get very busy, we need to be on the field. We're building an eco-friendly business. We're out there sorting out our environment and all of that. You can use post-scheduling apps to be able to do this work. One of my favorite is an app called Later, Later, where you can schedule all your social media posts, add the caption, add the hashtags, and give the app the time to post it for you. And regardless and irrespective of where you are in the world, as far as your phone or your laptop is connected to the internet at the time that you have scheduled the post, it will do the posting for you. So you can use Later or you can use Buffer. A lot of people like Buffer, but I like Later because of the UI and how easy it is to use. So Later, Later, or Buffer, Buffer. There are a lot more of some of these post-scheduling apps and platforms that you can also use for yourself in order to beef up your online presence. The other set of things that I'll probably recommend for you to be able to use is, so one of the key things that a lot of us will need to understand is how to be able to do our own ads, how to be able to run Google Ads. Now, if you want to learn how to run Google Ads, okay, somebody is asking for the link. I'll try and do that when I'm taking up questions and bring you the link so you can access it directly. So where I was running up with the final set of recommendations. Now, if you want to learn how to be able, Kwame, you said that organic reach on most of these platforms are dead. So how am I able to reach audiences through paid advertisement? Well, one of them is Google Ads. And if you want to be able to know how to run Google Ads has an entire free training model available. All you need to do is check Google Skills or skills.google.com or just Google Skills, and you will find the link to their training videos where you can learn how to do Google Ads. Facebook has a complete one called Facebook Blueprint. So go on and search Facebook Blueprint. Immediately you search, you will see that the first link is a Facebook link. Click it and you can take all the courses, look at all the videos on a step-by-step guide on how to do ads on Facebook and on Instagram as well, the right way, not the one that you go and you say boost post and then you boost the post and spend $100 and you get a couple thousand likes. Nobody followed you, nobody DM'd you, nobody bought a service, nobody signed up for any of the things that you were doing. So use these tools, use these free available knowledge platforms to gain all of the information that you needed. Madia, I said Canva and Over, O-V-E-R. I'm typing it in the group, Over, O-V-E-R. O-V-E-R, Over. So Canva and Over. All right, guys. And so with that, I would bring my presentation to a close. I hope that I've given you the mindset shift that you need to be able to walk through yourself through the process. I hope that I've given you some tools, some skills. Whenever I do these trainings, it's mostly like a 2-week training where I walk you from beginning to end so that you are able to do everything step by step, monitor you through your first 3 months so that you are able to hold yourself accountable. But because this is a 1.5, 2-hour section, I wanted to give you the basis by which you can build on. And if only you will take the knowledge that has been offered here and apply it, because the knowledge in and of itself does not do anything. I'm sure that if knowledge in and of itself did something, books will probably be the most wealthiest group of things in the world. But it is when you take the knowledge and you apply it that you're able to get some results from it. So thank you very much. Whilst I hand back over to Juliet and take some questions, I'm going to get the link for the website Builders YouTube channel for those of you who asked. And I hope that I was able to provide value to you. My name is Kwame Opoku. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Kwame. Thank you so much. This has been very, very insightful for me. And I'm sure this is the same for all of us gathered here. We are currently open for your questions and clarification. You could unmute yourself and speak. You could raise your hand to be called on, or you can simply put your question in the chat box. The floor is open. If you have a question, you can ask. Please bring your questions. If you know Kwame very well, then you would know that this is a privilege to have him here for this long time. I mean, please take the advantage and ask your questions, and I'm sure he would answer to your satisfaction. If you want to talk to, you could just unmute yourself and go ahead, or just raise your hand. Okay, so to set the ball rolling, Kwame, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Okay, so especially when it comes to Instagram, I've heard there are instances where people could get following that are not organic. I don't know, how does that work? And is it important to your personal branding?
All right, let me help you. Regardless and irrespective of what you do or how desperate you are, never ever buy fake followers. Now, there are 2 ways that people do fake followers. The more erroneous way that people do it is they use what we call bots, B-O-T-S, B-O-T-S. So a set of programming language is built, and then you get an add up. A number of people would jump, behind followers, but these are not real human beings. These are just computer codes. And what is happening is that every 3 months, Instagram does a sweep through their system, and they are able to detect all of the bot activities, and they will wipe out your account. In fact, oftentimes when they realize that you have an enormous amount of bot followers, which is the BOT, the computer code followers, they shadow ban your account or they take it off totally, and you are never do it. The second way that people are able to get fake followers is there are communities that encompass. So there are services that I know of where maybe they are like 10 group, all right? Now, in that group that they are, whenever followers, they put the request in the group and the people come and follow you. But these are not people who are following you because they care about what you're saying. These are not people who are following you because they are passionate about your offering. These are people following you because they are paid. You don't want any of those two things in your followership as you're looking to build a real personal brand. So what I'll say to you, stay away from it. Grow organically. Only use the paid advertisement of the platform itself. That's Google ads, YouTube ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, LinkedIn ads. Use those ones to grow a real organic reach. That see your content, they like it. Fake followers.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kwame, for the response. Because I think for most of us, we rather concentrate on, I have 1,000 followers on Instagram. I have this number of followers on Facebook. We really don't care whether it makes any meaning to our personal branding. We just want to increase in numbers, so we jump at it. But I'm excited that we get to know that it's important to have actual real organic followers on any social media handle to improve your personal branding. Thank you very much. Please, if you have any questions, please take the opportunity to do so. Can drop it in the chat. Okay, so today's session has been with Kwame, Opoku.
Hello. Excuse me. Sorry to interrupt. But I posted a question in the chat, but let me just ask. So, Kwame, thank you very much. I learned a lot. You were saying that B2B companies need to consider having, like, say, a LinkedIn account. But how about B2C companies? I'm into organic hair care products and services. So I make hair growth remedies, and I do salon treatments for clients. And do I also need a LinkedIn page? And if I do, or if I don't, what other platforms would you encourage a business like mine to, engage on apart from the normal Instagram?
I think that everybody needs a LinkedIn. Everybody needs a LinkedIn because regardless and irrespective of what you do, a certain level of B2B might be important. But for your business in particular, I would advise for you to focus on the platforms that are more video and image content friendly. So I would say to you, focus a lot on Instagram, focus a lot on Facebook, focus a lot, especially now on TikTok. Let people see your process, let people see your work, do those short reel videos. A lot of those will help you because you are more a B2C. LinkedIn is very good for B2B because that's where most of those conversations happen. That's where most of the, upper and the decision makers in most of the top corporations look out for in engaging with people because they feel like there's a lot of noise and a lot of young play in the other platforms. But with you offering the saloon services, like the more image video friendly platforms, then whenever you make major moves as a business, you are expanding. You've added a new team member, you dump some of those stuff on LinkedIn so that your business and its structure is also recognized by the business community as you expand. Because I don't think you see yourself running a small business all your life. I'm sure at the back of your mind as a creator, you see your business becoming a multifaceted, multinational business. So starting the building block right in the beginning, such that the things that are more friendly to LinkedIn go there, and the ones that are more friendly to your customers go on the other platforms would help. At the end of the day, every single business is going to have to, based on some of the information I've provided, based on your target audience, your product offering, your service offering, every single business will need to sit down and have their own unique digital online presence strategy. And so when you sit down and you're doing those things, all of the information I've provided should come into play for you to decide this platform will get 60% of our time or an effort, this one will get 20%, this will get 15%, and this will get 5%. That way you're streamlined, you know what you're about. Then when you do it for a period, you look at the data. Okay, based on the 60% effort we put here, a lot of these things have come from here. But I think we need to augment. So can we move 10% from the 60 and add it to the work we're doing on their 15%, so it's 25%. I like it when we come to the place where all of our decisions are data driven, based off of the things that we've tried, the results that it has generated, and the things that needs to change about it. And I hope that answers your question. Okay, all right, so that's absolutely fine. Somebody says, what do you think?
Yeah, so sorry, I was speaking, but my mic was muted. Thank you for that response. But I've typed another one. I'll just give you a bit of a background. I have an online WhatsApp community, and it's really growing. And I haven't heard. I joined late. I don't know if you talked about WhatsApp to begin with, or communities to begin with. I don't know.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so is there any way, for example, to check analytics?
Thank you so much. Yes. So let me thank you so much for bringing this. In fact, the first thing I will say to you is the limitation of WhatsApp will creep up on you very soon if you reach 256.
Yeah, numbers. Yeah.
Yes. So the first thing I will say to you is switch to Telegram. It's the best. That's why I built my community. I have 2 separate communities on Instagram. One is sitting about 10,000 people. The other is sitting about 3,000 people. And I'm able to get analytics. I know when my people read, how often they consume, and all of that information. Telegram is limitless in terms of number. You have the option of creating a channel where only you can speak, and you have the option of creating a channel where everybody can speak. You can have your announcement channel where whenever you put announcements in, the Telegram bot would itself place the announcements in all your communities. So WhatsApp currently does not have business analytics for you to see, even though WhatsApp Business has added some other features that allows you to build a community. But once you've established a certain level of trust, having a community that you control, where you can have their numbers, even email. I didn't speak about email marketing as well, because the thing is that we can wake up tomorrow. We've seen that we woke up and WhatsApp was down or Instagram was not functioning, right? What if you wake up tomorrow and Mark Zuckerberg decides he's bored, so he's taking his Instagram? What happens to all the work you built? So anything that allows you to be able to get the personal phone numbers, email, email addresses, and even the offline things, the things that you do offline, so that now that Corona is about to leave us, hopefully you are able to engage offline face to face with your audience. Please invest a lot of time and resources into it so that you are safe. Whilst online is booming, you are there actively. Should anything go wrong and you don't have your Instagram, you get hacked, somebody stole your password, you still have your people sitting in a community that you control. You have their numbers that you can message individually or call, or you have their emails that you can email them. It will be fantastic for you.
Thank you very much, Kwame. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
You're most welcome, AC.
Okay, so if you have more questions, the room is still open. Let me remind you that you've been part of the 7th day of our 8 days Echo Capacity Building Program. And today's topic has been building a formidable online presence. And I know that you've learned so much today, and the feedback even tells it all. We're still open for your questions. In the meantime, let me remind you that tomorrow is the 8th day. We are taking the final day of the capacity building program, and our topic is managing business finances. Yes, I know you've smiled because that is very important. So tomorrow we'll be looking at how to manage your business finances, whether you're a full scaled up business or you're an SME or MSME. We are going to focus on how you can manage your business finances. And the time is still 2 p.m. till 4 p.m. You sure don't want to miss out on that. So kindly ask your questions. We have Kwame still in the house. He's willing to answer your questions. If you need sure, please go ahead.
This is a very powerful presentation. So I want to find out, can we get the presentation? Because I have been desiring to build my own website, but of course I'm a finance person. I have no idea about any programming language. But I just feel the edge that if I can get something that can teach me how to do, I can do it on my own. Yeah. So if you can share the presentation with us today, so that straight away some of us can hit what is the name? The web learners channel on YouTube, and then begin to practically put our website together to brand ourselves.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pavis. The team, the Waste or Create team, will do that on our own. We are trying to collect all the presentations of our speakers, and we'll send you an email and you have all that. I hope that's okay.
Thank you. That's okay. Thank you.
All right, sure. All right. I think that applies to everyone.
Kwame, it's a great presentation.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay. No more questions. Do we have questions? We still have like 8 minutes to go. Please take opportunity and ask something. Okay, maybe I'll throw in a question.
I'd like to ask Kwame a question.
Okay, great. Please go ahead.
It's not that related to business, but with respect to branding. What advice would you give someone who is eyeing maybe political leadership in the next 5, 10, 15 years in terms of branding on social media, using Facebook, LinkedIn, and all the available channels? What advice would you give the individual?
Okay, political, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. With political, and I've worked with such clients. In fact, in the last Ghana elections, I worked with some top people in that regard. Politics is already a very interesting industry, so to speak. And so you will have a lot of resistance in terms of establishing trust because the political framework is already broken. However, you also have the added advantage of what we call bland loyalty, so to speak, because if you come out on the ticket of party A or party B or group A or group B, there's a certain default group of people who will be rooting for you already. Your work will be cut out for you in making sure that you're doing a lot of community work in whichever the target constituency is, and then storytelling with those works. With politics, you cannot come and sit online and give us yabby yaps about the things you want to see change and all of the ails in society. We've had all of the talk. So if you're truly passionate about doing the political or going the political way, what I would advise is go to the communities, build real sustainable products and services in those communities. Then make sure you have a content team that is with you, that is capturing every space, every step of that way. Then bring that content and come and put it in front of your community. It will be one of the most effective ways. Number two, be very, very aligned with happenings. You know, there's a big rape case that has broken out. Everybody is speaking about it. It's all over the news. It so happens that the person, that the small girl or the lady who is the subject of this is within your constituency. Proactively reach out. Do something about it. Get them a lawyer or go out there, go and support them. You will need to be authentic about your intentions, and then just have a content team that is capturing all of the impact work you're doing and then communicate it. The best advice I will give you is find somebody like Kwame who is an expert. Let them sit down with you and build a branding framework for that political passion that you have. Realign it with whichever team you have once you've had an expert do that for you, so that you have a roadmap, you have a blueprint that you are following. Because it would differ. There are different factors. Is this person doing the politics in Ghana, in Nigeria, wherever the place is? There are different rules of engagement. But the basic thing I can tell you is you will need to do real impact work. You will need to grab the content for the work you're doing, and you need to come and put it out there. Then there are other things that you will need to do. Imaging will be very, very important. Being very strong in your articulation and your presentation will be another. Making sure that you clear all there's something that we call auditing. You will need to fully position yourself to audit your past. Is there anything you've done in the past that can come and bite you? Some picture you posted when you were in high school on Facebook that you don't know, some free video that you put on your stories because you and your friends were hanging out having a bottle of drink. These things can come back to come and bite you. So politics is very different, and you would need a certain level of streamlined attention to it to build a framework for that. So that would be my answer, my brother.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Kwame. Thank you so much. In fact, we can't say thank you enough, because even personally, I feel like I've learned so much today. And I'm sure each beneficiary here will attest to that fact. We want to say on behalf of the Wish to Create Hub team, the Circular Place Project team, the MasterCard Foundation, I'd like to say a very big thank you to you for making time off your busy schedule to be with us today. For me, it has been very insightful, and I believe it has been same for all the participants here in gathered. Same time tomorrow, we continue with the final session of the ECHO Capacity Building Program. We invite you all once again to come here and be with us and learn more on how to manage your business finances. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Kwame, for making the time, and thank you all for honoring our invitation. Have a good evening.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you.
It's very, very important to understand the difference between sustainable business model. It's simply, working around how I'm going to make money at the end of the year, right? How I'm going to continue to empower my business models to grow, scale up my initiatives, continue to pay my staff where I don't go bankrupt. But a sustainable business model is one that is very much conscious about what kind of products do I have? Is it, example, there are people who process palm oil, right? They process palm oil by the river, and at the end of the day, they pour all of the chaff into the ocean. They don't care about how it depletes the environment. Those who are in the mining industries, they mine, now we're already seeing the galamsey issue affecting our water bodies and all, they don't care about the environment as far as they continue to make money. But a sustainable business model ensures that 360, okay, you take care of your environment while still providing solutions, while still providing value.
That as a business, you have considered more than just the profits. And then here we have Growth Mosaic, who have worked quite closely with us in the past, and PEG Africa, who are a solar business here as well. So that is like a bit of a broad overview on what a B Corp is.
Sustainable packaging is simply packaging that over time reduces its environmental footprint, okay? And there's a confusion between sustainable packaging and sustainable package design. You understand? You can, if you tag your product as eco-friendly, it's not necessarily sustainable. Let me explain. If you package your product in, let's say, paper packaging, and the paper package is really not sourced ethically, even though the paper package is eco-friendly, it's not ethical, it's not sustainable because trees are being cut to produce paper. But if the paper packaging that you utilize is actually made from reclaimed paper waste from these book producing factories, then your packaging has been sustainably designed.
Fair trade prefer to support disadvantaged businesses or producers than to support advantaged businesses. So likewise, they expect our business to focus on disadvantaged people than advantaged people. Okay. What do we see in Ghana? Can someone tell me what we see in Ghana about our business? What do we see in Ghana? In Ghana, we prefer giving advantage to people who already have the opportunity, while we left the disadvantage behind. So this is what fair trade looks at. Fair trade always puts people first. There's a term we use. They say people, the planet before profit. So we put people first and the environment, then we think about profit.
What is remote work for a company? The first thing that we need to be able to understand is going remote does not necessarily mean going digital. Going digital can, of course, help you to be able to go remote faster, but it's important for us to understand the difference. And in terms of remote work, what is remote work? Remote work for me is the ability to focus on productivity over presence, to focus on the ability to create value, to collaborate on a value proposition irrespective of our geographical location.
I want to start from the base level, a very foundational level. What is entrepreneurship? It's everything that goes into, creating, launching, and managing a business, right? And why is that important? Because those businesses that entrepreneurs start, these small businesses, or have recently launched are critical to managing the world at almost 50% of the GDP. These are not large companies that do this. These are a lot of small businesses.
What I've focused my skills on is sales and leadership consulting. So I work with socially minded businesses. What socially minded means, or what does it mean to you?
This is
Hi,
Effie. Hi. Socially minded businesses are those that take their customer responsibility, or your CSR, your customer social responsibility, as something that is important. You know that there are people who depend on you and people who are around you, not depend necessarily, but you're giving a service, and therefore the people who are your end users should also be considered in whatever you kind of like do, whatever your business is.
You're spot on. That is one of the things that makes an organization socially minded. They care about their customers and they care about their customers' well-being, and they often design their products to be customer-centric.